Giorgio Cafiero is the CEO of Gulf State Analytics and joins me now from Washington, D.C. Good to speak to you, Giorgio. So it is shocking to hear 50 men who traveled to Turkey to kill a man, and this all happens in the consulate. It's still speculations, but what do you make of it all?
Well, what we're seeing right now is something that we see all the time in the Middle East when some odd, surprising and unprecedented events take place. There are so many different narratives, so many different versions of reality we hear. I know that right now the Turkish authorities are trying to get to the bottom of what took place on October 2. There are some resources at the consulate in Istanbul and at the airport that they can use to try to obtain information which could provide us with evidence to back up their belief that the Saudis were responsible for the assassination of Khashoggi. I think that we have to keep in mind that this situation has potential to add a tremendous amount of friction to the relationship between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Turkey right now. This is a bilateral relationship which has been strained by numerous regional issues, and I think that this incident could certainly add a new layer of tension in relations between Riyadh and Ankara.
And are the Saudis trying to give a message here?
If the claim that the Saudis were responsible for this assassination is true, then I think it would make sense to interpret such an act within the context of the leadership in Riyadh sending a message to critics of the Saudi regime who are abroad. But again, I want to be really careful here. We do not quite yet know exactly what happened, and I think it's just very important for everyone to be cautious before reaching conclusions at this early moment. But I will say, though, that given the fact that Khashoggi's fiancée was outside of the consulate waiting for him, and that she waited for many hours and he did not show up, it leads me to think that he did not freely exit the consulate, and there are definitely some answers that we're going to need very soon.
Well, we have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for that there, Giorgio.